All right, mates, welcome back. Crypto Leverage Trading Group. Hope everybody is doing well. It is about 7:30. We are going to talk about a little bit about Coinbase tonight, a little bit about Ethereum tonight. Just see how that goes. Really for the rest of the week. It's Wednesday night around 7:30. Obviously, right now we've had a really big, nice move with Ethereum today. Really happy with that. Ethereum right now at 19.15.11. And Litecoin at 196.95, Bitcoin at 58.760.91, holding right there within striking distance of the all-time high area. Okay. However, and we're talking about Bitcoin. We've got a little bit of that resistance level at that 59,000. That's a bubble area of selling that Bitcoin's gotta work through. So when you're planning out the rest of the week, okay, and you're thinking about where you're gonna be, where you're gonna come down, it's Wednesday now, and we tend to be bullish. Okay, a little bit today. Obviously, we had some rebalancing that's happening. That's normal. I know it threw a lot of people. I got some messages. I know it threw a lot of people for a loop. Some of these wicks, that happened today in Bitcoin, especially, which drags everything down. It's the same thing. If you looked at Ethereum chart, if you look at a Litecoin chart, if you look at a lot of some of the altcoins, it's the same during that same 30-minute stretch. A lot of that's the end of the quarter stuff. It's probably gonna be worse. The next couple of, we're nearing the end of the month. Okay. That's really all I can tell you. And this happens at end of quarters. Okay. Doesn't happen at the end of every month. It happens at the end of, financially quarters for a lot of companies, especially now. And remember, you've got to understand, more and more publicly traded companies are getting into cryptocurrency. Okay. Their treasury, in a sense, pension fund, retirement funds, all those things for their employees, right? There's some gravitas towards cryptocurrency right now, the most that there's ever been in the history of cryptocurrency. Okay. So the more you get that, the more you're going to these things are going to start to work their way into the market. The same way with mutual funds and things like that at the end of the year or the end of the quarter, they want to make their, pitches in terms of their percentages of growth and all that stuff. And you're going to experience that. So pretty normal, I would say. My goal this week was really to get back to 60,000. I think that we're still, we're 1,200 points, which isn't nothing for Bitcoin. And it's just a matter of whether or not we get some fuel here and some gas in terms of driving her to test that all-time high. But be prepared, okay? This should not come as a shock to anybody in the Crypto Leverage Trading Group. This is simply another test at the 60,000 level for Bitcoin. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, or remove all the other significance, okay, of hitting the all-time high, okay, for, in terms of your plan. Because if it rejects it again, technically speaking, whether you're looking at 4 hour, 12 hour, or the 1 day, you could see a backdraft and a retest of 54, 55 in Bitcoin. There is that probability, and you have to plan for that probability as you watch Friday for the most part. Saturday, a little bit different. Probably get a lot of low volume FOMO on Saturday. If Friday gets to that all-time high level, then you're going to get what's really called new price NP, new price discovery. That's what'll happen. Okay. That's just, it always does. Until the sellers come back in, take it all down, boom, boom, we start all over again. But you got to be aware of that, right? And we're going to take a look at the formation on Friday and be like, okay, where are we? Where are we technically speaking? On-chain's not changing very much. On-chain metrics are predominantly all bullish still, depending on, again, check them out, okay? Check on the folks like I've told you. I know a couple of people I read in the free trading community Discord have already subscribed and followed some of the guys on Twitter that I mentioned in the previous video. Well done you, okay? Follow Willy Woo. Follow Charts BTC, okay? Follow Crypto Quant. Follow Glassnode. Follow Blockport, sorry. Follow Into the Block or the Block, either one. Boom. Follow them. and just check on them every now and see what they're saying about what's happening with inflows and outflows. What's the balanced exchange flow? What's going on? Remember, they got to move. They got to move to the exchange to sell them. Large institutions, right? So you want to watch Coinbase's exchange flows, okay? They got to move it there because that's where they have to sell it, okay? And so you just want to watch that stuff. So speaking of Coinbase, I want to talk about something that, I haven't really talked that much about in the last 6 to 8 months. But, I think for a lot of people, it's important to talk about. Obviously, Coinbase is going to become public. They're doing a direct, it's really called a direct offering, not an initial public offering, an IPO, which is the traditional route. They're doing a direct listing. Most likely that's going to happen in April. Most likely that's going to be $100 billion plus offering, which is mind-blowing, but Coinbase is the largest U.S. cryptocurrency there is, okay? And fundamentally, the value in cryptocurrency, the value in Coinbase, in my opinion, just my opinion, it's not really us, those of us that have Coinbase accounts retail. It's really not. The real value is institution. The people behind these things, the powers that be, they view Coinbase as an institution now, not as some outlier crypto, thing. They don't. You talk to people in this city, in this town where I live, okay, and the political apparatus that's in place, and the government, and all of that stuff, they don't view Binance that way, okay? To them, Binance is a joke, okay? They just don't. They don't even equate Binance even in the same vicinity as Coinbase. Now, that may be wrong, okay? Certainly, because if you're in the cryptoverse, you see Binance with a totally different perspective. You see altcoins, you see Binance Smart Chain, I hear both camps, okay, because of where I live. A lot of people work for the government. A lot of people work in the financial community, okay? But by and large, government entities, Treasury, the SEC, okay, as well as people that work in the financial industry, whether it be private or public, companies, banks for the most part, they view Coinbase as one of them. They view Coinbase in reality as an institution, okay? Because that's where they do business in cryptocurrency. So that's important distinction between Coinbase and Binance, okay? Binance is us for the most part, and their mentality. It's for the crypto kids, okay? It's for the crypto punks, the cyber punks, okay? And want to trade cryptocurrencies and all of them, okay? Uniswap's same way. Like they and then there's hundreds of exchanges, right? So this is why you're going to hear a lot more about Coinbase in April. And I want to let you guys know one of the tricks, okay? There's a bunch, but one of the tricks I'm aware of that I want to alert you to in our community is I get a lot of messages, texts, a lot of guys have my phone number, which is fine, emails. I got like 16 emails today, okay? Like how? Like help me understand what you're doing, like with altcoins. Like, I don't know where to start, right? I have no idea. I'm not a crypto person. I don't have, a computer science, engineering background. I don't understand blockchain technology, but, right? That's 90%, 95% of the people out there, right? Okay. I was one of them, hands up. I was one of them 5 years ago. Okay. But if you're watching this video, okay, or if you're part of our free trading community, or you're following on Facebook, or on Cocoscope, or you're subscribing to this channel on YouTube, okay? Or if you subscribe to the Eat Free, okay? Free, all right? Email update for all coins, and the trading community is free. You're halfway there. Like, and not just me, if you're with anybody else too. Like, any legitimate person in the cryptoverse, educating you on technical and analytics or educating you. And here's the difference. educating you. Okay. There's the distinction. There are tons of scams. And I'm going to do a video here coming up. Probably, I might do it tonight or tomorrow, but I probably won't put it out on YouTube till the weekend on crypto fraud. Okay. There are people who will make you a victim. And they're about, some of them, I will tell you, some of them are about ready to have a rude awakening. There are a lot of forces aligning right now in the cryptoverse and with YouTubers aligning with Google in terms of getting these people taken down because they are a legitimate threat to the cryptoverse. They are a legitimate threat. Let me say that again. These people, whether they make somebody money in the short term, that's how MLMs work, okay? This is how fraud works, right? I know one in particular, and I'm not going to name any names on YouTube at this point, but this individual will have his hands full again with the FBI, again. Let me just say that again, okay? This isn't new. Everyone who's been around for the last 5 years knows what I'm talking about with the ICOs, knows what I'm talking about with the lending platforms that ripped people off, that stole money from hardworking, unsuspecting people, and then disappeared, shut down, locked them out of their wallets, took their crypto, okay? You've heard the stories. You know what I'm talking about. Some of you, if you're in my group, know who I'm talking about, okay? But this is probably going to go out to a lot of other people, and I'm not going to name names because it'll all come out soon enough. It already has if you are following on Twitter and Facebook and on YouTube on other channels. It's starting to come out. All you have to do is Google Quibtech, Quibbit Life, LoopX, Davor, Ribbon Coin. You'll find out. You'll find out what we're talking about. It's the same people. It's the same people, okay? They're just reinventing themselves along the wheel as they scam people. And how do you scam people is you offer some level of legitimacy, okay? Right? And then you move in with your scams. Okay? So it's let me teach you about technical analysis, let's say. Okay? And then you build a trust, right? This guy's he's helping me make money. He's helping me make money. And then he comes in with an MLM scam, a Ponzi scheme. They're Ponzi schemes where you're going to give him money and he's going to give you their altcoin. They're going to give you their coin that they've created in exchange for your Bitcoin or Ethereum. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. The two so-called tokens for Quibtech don't exist, folks. They don't exist. They have no blockchain. None. It doesn't exist. It's not reputable. These people have come into the crypto community and are attempting to poach and victimize innocent people because the space is growing. And they do that by bringing you in, bells and whistles, relatability, making you some money, and then boom. Meanwhile, they're making their money both ways. They're making their money off you because you're trading on their platform using their affiliate commission link. Then they're making money off your entry into a MLM Ponzi scheme, right? And at some point, it always bursts. And any of the money that you have in that Ponzi scheme wallet is gone. And then they shut down and open back up. Okay? So more and more in depth is going to come out about that. There are a lot of other people in the cryptoverse, a lot of technical analytics, people that have had their channels attacked, have had their credibilities. You know, these people they're not salt of the earth people, mates. Okay? They're scammers. And they reinvent themselves after declaring bankruptcy 1 and 2 times and getting protection from everybody else, from their creditors. And it's just sickening, to be honest, that they prey on innocent people. They've come after me. Some of them have come after me for exposing some of it. They try to have this YouTube channel taken down. They've tried to follow false copyright claims here on YouTube when nothing on my channels is copyright, like nothing. It's all free, okay? It's all either from YouTube, which is obviously covered, fair use, right? Obviously covered, or it's me, okay? There's no graphics from, nothing copyrighted from it, no music. I wouldn't even know what music to play. But they try to do that stuff, fake IDs, fake Google accounts. Google knows all about them. They're tracking them. Cybersecurity knows all about them. They're tracking them. This is why they're all private, right? Like you can't like figure out who these guys are because leases aren't in their names for their apartments and townhouses, their cars, their Lambos, their Porsches, their whatever else they're throwing up there, which is typical MLM stuff, right? Guy gets up there and talks about like how you're going to get rich in crypto, how you're going to get rich. And, look at me. I've got my Lambo. I've got my Porsche. I've got my Ferrari. And they're probably leased, but they're not leased in their names. Okay. Because they don't want to be tracked. They don't want to be able to be tracked. Okay. And that's what you find. Nothing's really in their names. So, it takes a while, but inevitably, they'll have their day in court. They always do. Bernie Madoff, prime example. It's the same kind of stuff. It's the same kind of scam, just a little subtler. But anyway, that's that rant about that. And but the only reason I bring that up is I'm an individual in my group that has just been taken, and then you hate to see that, and so we're trying to figure that out, and and work to do the best we can. I'm actually going to help this individual out myself in terms of some of the losses and stuff because I hate to see this kind of stuff. You want to follow people who are going to give you education, who aren't asking you for your crypto. Okay. They're not asking you for your wallet, and your key codes and whatever. They're not, come on. Okay. And if you're brand new, open your eyes up to that stuff. It is crypto fraud is what it is. I don't care how many channels somebody has. The reason why people have multiple channels is because they're committing fraud. Okay. And funneling that stuff. Okay. Name the reputable people. Someone has a backup channel. That's something completely different. Okay. Because things can get taken down on Instagram, YouTube, whatever, temporarily. And people that are monetizing YouTube, people that are, this is their job on YouTube. It's not my job. It's not, I'm just commentary and I want to help people and kind of simulate the stuff that I've learned to help other people. But I'm not a YouTuber. My channels are not monetized, right? By YouTube. Okay. We have like 300 subscribers. I'm fine with that. I don't need 300,000. That's not my shtick. Okay. Like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I don't even know how BitBoy Crypto does it, for example, or, The Moon or Crypto Lark or Ivan. Like they got like 300,000, 500,000 subscribers. I can't even keep up with 300. Okay. Like, God bless them. Right. That's just not my thing. So I understand why they have a backup channel, but people that have multiple channels and are driving you to all these different channels of all these different things that they do, like there's a reason why they do that. It's to get you hooked on one of the scams. Like not one, maybe this one doesn't work. Maybe this one doesn't work. Maybe this one doesn't work, but maybe this one. And they try to make you feel like they're legitimate because they have a dozen YouTube channels. Right? That doesn't make them legitimate. Okay? In fact, in my opinion, it actually should alarm you that there's something not right. Because everybody that you would follow on YouTube in the cryptoverse, whether it be a technical analyst, an on-chain analyst, someone who's commentary in the market who just leveraging altcoins like me, right? It doesn't matter who they are. They're dialed in, whether you believe in them, whether you support them or not, whether you think they're full of bunk or they're great. We always have all these debates, right? But they're all pretty much good guys. No one's scamming anybody. Even people that are shilling coins, that is just the game. That they're not bad people, okay? And almost all of them disclose that they have money in the particular coin they're talking about. So, in all fairness, they're not bad people, okay? Those aren't scammers. Okay, they're not taking money from you illegitimately and illegally. A lot of these Ponzi's and MLM scams are illegal. And when they start to tie in to exchanges, okay, and that's when you get into real trouble. Okay, when you start using Coinbase or using BetMEX or using BitSeven or using Binance's name involved in your scam, look out, because those people aren't going to tolerate it. They're going to put some serious weight down on other people of power and get you shut down and get you taken off of YouTube and get you taken off of Gmail. Because the way it's Google, right? Gmail, YouTube, all one family. So getting back to Coinbase and getting back to what I do. Again, I get these emails, a lot of questions. They're all basically the same. It's like, hey, man, how do you do? How'd you pick Mana? How did you know Decentraland was going to go from 8 cents to $1? Like, what screamed to you? Like, what said? Was it the project? Like, how did I miss that? Like, what should have I been looking for? Okay. Filecoin is the big one this week. I got 5 or 6 pretty cool messages for some people that have made a ton of money in Filecoin. Filecoin went from about $20 to $30 to almost $200 today. Okay. Now, not all in one day. Okay. But this year, 2021, what was it about Filecoin? Okay. Like, that's another one. Chili's, right? It's not even a U.S. company. It's a European. Why did I follow it? Look over my shoulder right there. Football, tokens, fans, engagement with fans. Okay. And your only reason why I knew anything about it was mates over in the UK who also follow the Spanish league. Okay. And the Italian league, the Liga. Okay. We're like, hey, you're into blockchain technology, right? You're into the crypto. What's this? What is this, man? The club is offering for fans. It sounds like crypto. Like, and I was like, this is like a while ago. This is not like recent. It's like a year plus ago, almost like 15 months ago. And it's crypto. Okay. Accumulating tokens, value, social engagement with your fan bases. And we've all seen what's happened to Chili's, right? I think it's now around 50 some cents, 50 cents or so. From like less than 2 cents, less than a penny at one point. How? What was it? And I'm here to tell you the number one secret. Okay? The number one secret for most YouTubers that are out examining and doing videos on altcoins. It's not the chart. It's not the project. It's not the people behind the project. Okay? It is fundamentally 2 things. When I say by people behind the project, I mean like the actual developers. It is one of 2 things. It's 2 things. The investment community. Think of incubators, right? The incubator, asset, angel investment, however you want to look at it. Backing the project. And that's number 2. The number one thing that you should know about any altcoin right now in 2021 is if it is in Coinbase custody. Now, that may shock a lot of people. Like, what does that mean? I have Coinbase. What does that mean? Well, if you have Coinbase, where you have Coinbase Pro, the altcoins that are listed from Bitcoin on down. Just think there's 50 to 60, okay? Because they've been added in March, they've added like 6 or 8 month of March alone. Scale, I think, just got added. Storage, I think, just got added. Matic, the rebranding of Matic just got added. That was on March 9th, okay? Polygon, I think is the new rebranding. Coinbase custody. What is that? Like, well, you don't really have access to that because you're not an institution, right? You're not, unless you're a business that's got, and you're funding and offering retirement plans, pension plans, whatever investment vehicles for your employees, all of that stuff. Custody is custodian, right? And most people aren't aware of there are more coins in Coinbase custody offered to institutions to invest in than there are on Coinbase for you and me. That would shock a lot of people, right? What may also shock you, or not, depending on how versed you are in all these things, is almost 80% of all shilled coins on YouTube by major YouTubers in the cryptoverse space come from Coinbase custody. Okay. There's only one exception to that rule. Okay. Of all the altcoins, there's only one exception to that rule that gets a lot of play on YouTube as kind of like, the contrarian. Okay. And you know who I'm talking about. They portray it as the Ethereum killer, Cardano. Cardano is not in Coinbase custody, but it's on Coinbase now. It's a weird dynamic, right? Why is it not listed on Coinbase custody, but it's on Coinbase? It could be because there are a lot of people, retail, us, that want to be able to buy Cardano. And Coinbase is a business. They're an exchange. They're in a business. You need to give people what they want, right? Coinbase sat and watched for about a year. Binance grow and grow and grow and grow. Adding altcoins. Then they watched DEXs come, right? Uniswap, right? None of that was around 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right? Coinbase is still the king on the block, but there's a lot of going on in the space now with all the DEXs and stuff. Okay, all the swaps and stuff, right? All that stuff. So they've been adding altcoins. They've been playing catch up, especially in DeFi, decentralized finance. They've been playing catch up. Okay, I'm going to tie this in tonight to Ethereum and why this is important. Is they've been playing catch up by adding a lot of things, and a lot of what they've been adding, if you really, really, really break it on down into they've been adding a lot of Ethereum based decentralized finance altcoins. Why? If Ethereum is going to get killed by Cardano, which is not going to happen, okay? It's just not. Cardano's going to be successful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dishing on Cardano's project, okay? It's a year or two away, maybe, I don't know. But it's legitimate. But okay. But the number one thing about it is gas fees, okay? And Cardano's going to solve the gas fee thing. No, it's not. I mean, it's really not. I mean, it might have somewhat. Ethereum will always be really, really expensive gas fee wise, right? Well, why? Can Ethereum solve its gas-free dilemma, like it's the negative branding of Ethereum that's happening with the Ethereum killers? Bitcoin had Bitcoin killers too. Remember that, okay? For a long time, the people wanted to take a shot at Bitcoin with a lot of these other coins, okay? This is not new, all right? And so you want to factor that in to the discussion. But Coinbase is loading its exchange with decentralized finance coins. Remember, it started with Aave and synthetics, right? Okay, last year, right? They're getting traction now. Those have been accumulated by a lot of people, okay, and should be. Compound was one of the big ones last year, right, for Coinbase. I think it was June of last year. But it's interesting to see most coins that get listed on Coinbase start on Coinbase custody. Now, do you think, okay, let's just put the pieces of the puzzle together, okay? You're Coinbase and you're sitting there and you're looking at these projects, and they are going to discern the validity of these projects, okay, over and over and over again, right? In however they make their determinations in terms of what they permit on their exchange. Think for 1 second what happens if Coinbase custody places a scam coin, token, protocol on its exchange, and it dumps on its clients, wealth management clients, institutional investors. Coinbase is toast. Okay, they're toast if that happens. And they know this, okay? So much of all that is relationships. The same way, if you're watching this channel, if you're in our trading group, if you're following any of, anything has to do with Crypto Leverage Trading Group, Cryptoballers X, or me, it's a relationship, okay? You don't come back from stuff like that with people, okay? I've seen it in our group with people who've come from other groups. You don't go back. You don't go back to the people that burn you, okay? And so there's a lot of trust. They do a lot of due diligence, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And if you're in my side, like with friends of mine or people I was in school with, or in the classes for blockchain technology, they understand this too. Like they want to get listed, okay, on exchanges, right? Because inevitably getting listed on an exchange, more people buy your altcoin, right? And a lot of times your compensation, a lot of times if you're a developer, a lot of stuff is tough to the performance of the altcoin. That's just how it works. So you want to get listed. So you're going to do everything. You're going to jump through all the hoops to get listed on Coinbase, especially Coinbase custody, right? That's the first step, because then you end up on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro for retail. So start there. So what are some of the projects right now that are really, really like being pushed? Okay. There's 5,000 altcoins, I think, give or take, right? What are some of the ones you've heard out there, right? Like that, no matter what, where do you turn it on? Everyone knows Ethereum. Okay. Ethereum doesn't count. Litecoin doesn't count. Okay. Cardano doesn't count. Past the top 10, okay, of market cap. Okay. What are some of them you talk about that are out there, right? That are getting play on YouTube? Gems, all that stuff. 8 out of 10 of them are in Coinbase custody because they know, okay, what I'm about to tell you is that if a particular project right now, tell you what, let's pick one. Phantom. Okay. Maybe some of you saw my tweet today. Phantom's going to be listed on Coinbase. That's just me. Just my opinion. Coinbase hasn't said anything. Just my opinion. Why? Why do I think Phantom is going to be listed on Coinbase? A, it's part of Coinbase custody. B, it's got a tremendous following. And C, it keeps moving forward and developing and developing and developing and has a reputation. And C, and most importantly, the same people behind it are also behind very other important projects that have already happened. Legitimacy. So we've had a little run up in Phantom, haven't we? There's a reason for that. A lot more people are talking about it. But what came first? Coinbase custody came first. Okay. And that alerts a lot of these YouTubers to what's happening. Okay. Reserve rights. RSR. Another one. I did a video the other week on Engine Coin. Coinbase custody. Okay. Mana. Decentraland was Coinbase custody before it got listed on Coinbase last year. Okay. You're a lot of people. Like one of my favorite guys, Ivan. I think he actually uses it. Utrust, right? For people who are enrolling, I think, into his academy and all that stuff. It's a really great, project. Coinbase custody. Okay, so you see these things. So what are they, right? Like, where can you find? You can actually find them. And what happens after they get listed? You never hear about, no one's FOMOing in, right, to a Coinbase custody project, okay? Unless that alerts you and you see that and you're like, what's going on with that? I've never heard of that. Why is that? That's not a new listing. Why is that suddenly why is that being accumulated? Well, could be an institution is accumulating the heck out of it. And they're accumulating it through Coinbase custody, right? Not on Binance or on Uniswap or on, because the movement on those exchanges is not, or they may not even be listed on those exchanges. That's another thing. So you have to pay particular importance to that is where are these coins listed? But what I'm going to do in my group is I'm going to create for everyone. We already have our altcoin channels, decentralized finance for altcoins. I think I'm going to create a Coinbase custody text channel in the Discord. So you can see all of the coins that are in Coinbase custody. Okay. And then visually have an understanding of, then you're going to start to see these on YouTube from a lot of other YouTubers because they know what happens when something goes from Coinbase custody. They're placing a hedge bet, okay, on it being moved to Coinbase Pro, okay, as opposed to a direct listing on Coinbase Pro like Cardano, okay? And what happens? Well, FOMO happens. It's called the Coinbase effect. That's what happens, okay? That is what happens every time. And so you're going to get a run up, and they look like geniuses, and they are, because they've uncovered what I just explained to you, that if you take the coins in Coinbase custody, you put them in your watch list, and they're rolling these coins into Coinbase and Coinbase Pro about 3 to 6 a month, it seems to be, okay? And most of them are Ethereum based decentralized finance. So let's talk about Ethereum, okay? Today, Ethereum right now, Cryptoballers, Ethereum is 1,924.44 on my Bex Plus exchange, which I have open. Our open trade is open from 1564.10 for the Cryptoballers X. That is plus 2,297.36. That's from 1564.10, the call that went out in Cryptoballers X to accumulate Ethereum last week. Why? Other than technical metrics, other than on-chain metrics, why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a believer in Ethereum, and I don't believe in the Ethereum killer narrative. And I don't think people understand it's not the lengths in which Ethereum is going in order to improve its network. And a lot of people have complained over and over again about gas fees. Gas fees, gas fees, gas fees. Okay. Now, what's Ethereum really all about? Obviously, for decentralized finance, and why it's attractive, and why more and more companies are moving into blockchain technology with Ethereum, some Polkadot, but with Ethereum, is scalability, decentralization. Okay, those are two big things, right? And so when you think about that, and you want to look at, okay, what are we looking at in terms of the other projects, right? Like what's happening, with them. Okay. How are they going to make transactional activities cheaper or more efficient or faster? Okay. How are they going to do that? Well, I'm going to tell you how they're going to do that, mates. They're going to make it less secure, less scalable, and potentially more centralized than what you would think. Not fully centralized, but not as decentralized as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And how do you feel about that? If you're a company, what do you want in a network? Moving millions in dollars, millions of transactions. Be forward thinking. We're talking about taking blockchain into real estate, into contracts, into finance, into monetary policy, into you know what, okay? Everything that has to do with financial activity. What's the number one thing that you want and have to have? Security. If you come out with a great project, right? Okay. Let's look at Binance Smart Chain. That's great. It's on the Ethereum. It's on the Ethereum thing. How is Ethereum Smart Chain cheaper than the Ethereum network? It's basically Ethereum, right? Well, they've developed it to where their fees can be lower. Okay. But what are they sacrificing in doing that? Okay. And Ethereum's not looking at that and saying, wow, we could do that. We should do that. Right? Binance Smart Chain's cheaper than we are, and it's on our network. Like what? Why? It's because they don't want to. Because the whole premise of the Ethereum network, go back to the white paper, okay? Go back to its origins, is a fully decentralized network. Isn't that the point of blockchain? Isn't that the point of cryptocurrency, mates? Why are we now looking to Ethereum killers to take down the Ethereum network that's decentralized, replace it with a quasi pseudo decentralized network that's more centralized than Bitcoin or Ethereum? Why do we want to do that? Because of gas fees? What the hell are they talking about? Let me give you an example. And those of you in my group, you've heard me say this, in the channel. Where do you get gas? We're talking about gas, right? Gas fees fuel, right? They fuel. Okay. Governance tokens, activity, ether, you name it, gas fees. Okay. Why aren't you driving a Tesla? Right? Most people's answer to that question is because I don't like their cars. The second answer is can't afford them. Right. You can't afford them. Okay. True. You don't have to get gas for a Tesla. Right? It's electric. Why isn't everybody running out to get that? Wouldn't that be a cheaper version in the long run? I'm not having to pay for gas. The gas is free because I bought an electric vehicle like Tesla. Okay. Over the long term, I'm going to get some value from that, not having to buy gas. But yet people aren't in droves going and buying Teslas, are they? They're still buying their Chevys and their Fords or their Hondas or their Nissans or their Toyotas where they got to put gas in it. Why? And then when they have to put gas in a vehicle, where do they go? Think for a second whether or not you shop around for your gas. And in some places in the world, gas is way more expensive than the United States. Okay. But where do you go? You go to your local gas station, right? It's on usually the right-hand side of the road on your way to work or on your way to drop the kids off at school or on your way to the shopping mall, the soccer fields, whatever it is. You don't go to the gas station on the other side of the road going the other direction because it's 10 cents cheaper, 5 cents cheaper. You don't do that. Okay? I mean, if you do that, God bless you. But time. Why? Time. No one has time for that shit. Like, I got to get where I'm going. Gas is on the way. I know the guys at the shop. I know the guys at the gas station. Fill it up. Depends on what states in the United States you live in, whether you can pump your own gas, for God's sakes. In some states, they pump it for you. Okay? Boom. My state, we pump our own damn gas. Okay? But it all depends. Okay? But you don't go, oh, I'm going to find me the cheapest gas station every time you go and get gas. Why? Convenience. Safety, security, your familiarity, you're familiar with it, right? All of these companies and all of these individuals have now established a level of familiarity with Ethereum over the last few years. They're the first mover post-Bitcoin, first mover altcoin. You think they're all going to jump the Ethereum network to go to Cardano just because Cardano's gas fees might be a little cheaper? What's Cardano's security going to be? What's its scalability going to be? Right? What's its decentralization going to be? Those are the real questions that people need to be asking. It's not gas fees. You think companies give two shits about the gas fee being high if they know that it's a secure network, that it's decentralized, and that it's scalable for them? When they're talking about millions of transactional activity? And I'm not trying to take away from any of these projects, but there are so many more projects out there that are not Ethereum killers. They're complements to Ethereum. Avalanche, for example. Bridges to the Ethereum network. Parachains. Polkadot, right? That tandem things to get you to the Ethereum network that can speed the transactions, that may be less gas fees, right? But Ethereum's not going to change. It's not going to become less decentralized to bring you a cheaper gas price. That's not what Ethereum is. And for the most part, you've got to ask yourself, okay, if you want to use another lane, another network that's less secure, less scalable, and less decentralized, God bless you. Because that's not what the premise of Ethereum was, is, and will ever be. And that's why I am someone who has bought into Ethereum. Doesn't mean that you should not own Polkadot. Doesn't mean you should not own Cardano. These are all opportunities. There are plenty of people in the world that own both Apple, okay, and its competitors, right? It's okay. There's room for all these. All these things will have a purpose. Not everybody's going to care about the security, to be honest. Like somebody just wants to do a MetaMask, like transaction. Maybe they don't really care. Maybe that's not a big deal to them. Right. And so maybe they may go and find another one as we evolve another wallet on a different network that's cheaper. But by and large, it's behavioral. Okay. And Coinbase knows that. And that should signal you to something interesting. Coinbase does not have Cardano in Coinbase custody. It appears so, and they are in Coinbase Pro. But they do have Ethereum, and they do have a lot of Ethereum-based decentralized finance projects. Why? Okay? Because all this stuff can get layered on the Ethereum network. These things can improve the Ethereum network. These things can do these things without Ethereum doing anything. Okay? Where are the altcoin projects right now that are going to be built on Cardano? Okay? Well, Cardano doesn't have a working product yet, right? So that's going to have to come along later, right? Layers, patches, you name whatever you want to call it. We don't know. We don't know. But we do know with Ethereum that there are literally hundreds of projects working to complement the Ethereum network. That's why Ethereum is $1,928.15 at 8:25 this evening. And that's why Cardano is $1.20. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Cardano. It's had a great run from 2 cents to $1.48 in the last year. I mean, hey, if you rode that ride, well done you. Okay? But that's why when people go, I don't understand why it's under $2. Well, circulating supply is a big reason why, okay, compared to other altcoins, okay? But also, realistically speaking, okay, will it always be $1.20? No. Once it gets activity, once there's starting to be a lot of on-chain metrics about Cardano, its user base, its activity, its acceptance, right, boom, that expect it to take off. But today, okay, that's why Ethereum is $1,900 on its way probably to $2,000 to $3,000. That's why Bitcoin is on its way to $70,000, right? Not financial advice, okay? But established networks, okay, we're adapting our behaviors to Bitcoin, to the Bitcoin network, to the Ethereum network, okay? And that's what you want to invest in. That's what you want to look at, right? Like there's where the activity is. That's where the people are. I liken it to like elections, whether you're in the UK or the US or, elections around the world, in the States here, it's always nuts and crazy now. Elections, ballots, they're not having enough ballots, right? At the polling station. What's a polling station, right? Polling station is a lot like a node, right? It's a lot like a master node, right? It's a lot like, the overseers of who are the ones disseminating everything, right? It's where you go, you get your ballot, boom. So that's the transaction activity, right? A lot like a node, okay? You don't have enough ballots, right? What happens when everybody shows up like they did this last election? More people showed up than they had ballots. More people showed up, more activity, right? More volume, right? What happens? It stresses the network, right? And that's all you're seeing now in blockchain. More and more thousands of people are coming into the cryptoverse. And the network is working its way through. Sometimes these transactions are taking longer. And you've had a lot of this stuff. Like we've gone through this for years. There was a video this week. Benjamin Cohen, great technical analytics guy. Okay. If you're into that, like just like mind blowing, I call it like physics and engineering combined meets crypto. The guy's like a genius. And he had a video discussion about we've already tried. Basically saying with Bitcoin is we've already done the Bitcoin thing, right? Remember that was Bitcoin Cash. all the forks of Bitcoin were about people who didn't think that the block size for the original Bitcoin was enough, that it was slowing down, wasn't being able to do transactions fast enough, that they needed to go to a greater block size. Hence, you have Bitcoin Cash. No one talks about Bitcoin Cash anymore, right? Like, well, they solved it. They went to 8 MBs, right? Boom. Okay. 8 times the size. The block is 8 times the size as Bitcoin's block, right? No one really talks about Bitcoin Cash anymore. Our exchange, if you're in our group, BitSeven removed Bitcoin Cash from the exchange. I mean, what does that tell you? Like, so sometimes these Bitcoin killer, Ethereum killer narratives just do not compute in reality. They're often driven by people who want to take you out of the big major coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? And into altcoins. That's they want to get you to move over into them, into those altcoins. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's what you need to understand when you look at those. Time value of money, risk associated with that. How much risk? Here's a good example. How much risk was associated with you putting $1,000 into, or $100, say $100 into $200 Ethereum in March 2020? How much risk was there to put that into Ethereum versus putting $100 into an altcoin that was number 326 in market cap? What was the risk? Obviously, Ethereum was a less riskier play. And that's how you have to look at that if you're looking at stacks and bags. Okay, there's always speculation. There's nothing wrong with speculation. Okay, you're being speculative. But in terms of investing, that's what you want to think about. Look at Bitcoin's run last March. Under 4,000 to now almost 60,000. How much greater risk was it that Bitcoin was going to fall to 2,000 or 1,000 after falling from like 10,000? Okay. And that's where your mindset needs to be. All right. So what we covered tonight, it's almost about 50 minutes or so. I don't think I've ever done one this long. Coinbase. We're going to start to look at Coinbase custody. We're going to start to diagnose the altcoins that are in Coinbase custody because they are going to come out to Coinbase, Crow, Coinbase, and probably then from there be listed on other exchanges if they're not listed on other exchanges already. I already have about a half baker's dozen. Okay, got about a baker's dozen of these altcoins in Coinbase custody. They're going to explode. They're just going to explode. Okay, because they're good projects. They're great projects. They've been fully vetted. They're backed by asset managers, angel investors that have already had successful projects they've already been invested in. And so a lot of the due diligence has been done by Coinbase in terms of investigating the project, in terms of legitimacy. Okay. So we're going to do that. And we're going to continue to keep an eye on Ethereum and Bitcoin going into the weekend. Ethereum now needs to stay above 1,900. We had to fake. A lot of people called that Bitcoin moved to 60,000 a week or so ago. A fake out. I don't really know that's necessarily a fake out. I just think it's a timing issue. Being at the end of the quarter, with options expiration going into that, and I just think it was bad timing that it got to 60, 61 when it did, as opposed to if it gets to 60, 61, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or whatever, the timing's better. It's the beginning. We're beyond option expiration. I just think the timing's better for it. So I think it was more of a timing issue. I don't really think it was a fake out. I've heard that a lot today or the last 24 hours. But so we're going to keep an eye on Ethereum. Our target is still in place. Okay. We're looking at that 2,000 level, breaking through. There's not that much resistance. Okay. For Ethereum, obviously above, the 1970. It's a great year. 1,970. Okay. It gets to beyond that. There's very little resistance for Ethereum to keep her under 2,000. And going beyond 2,000 and set new all-time highs. And so we definitely want to keep a lot of attention on that. The other thing to pay attention to is volume. okay, because the volume's been kind of low. So, which is, it could be a good thing and a bad thing. So, but when volume moves into this market, we want to, like, keep an eye on it. Now, when we get heavy volume down, that's going to be a big issue. Okay, we haven't seen that. Okay, but if you start seeing huge spikes in massive volume, that will likely come at the 60,000 level, which could take Bitcoin back down to 54, 55. Okay, and you want to be prepared for that. And that you can prepare yourself for that by entering in, any kind of a low leverage down, sell down, low leverage, 3x, 5x as a hedge. When we get to that level, and as well, in keeping your longs open, in order to hopefully have a confirmed candle above the previous all-time high. That's how you can play that. We call that a straddle. Straddle that level at 59, 59,950 to 20,000, in that range. Kind of get in there and be like, okay, we're going to test 2,000. Leave your long open, but maybe throw in a little hedge bet entry down to protect you. Because stop losses isn't really a function on the BitSeven trading platform. For you to put that. I know that is on some other exchanges. So if you're on another exchange, you definitely can implement that. All right, mates, I really enjoyed your time. Almost an hour, and I hope everybody got some value out of this. Again, I'm always available in the free trading Discord. Our email, mycryptoballers@gmail.com. If you want to get to the email update list, as well as all the tokens on Coinbase custody that we're going to be tracking. And hey, I appreciate the time. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And we will see you next time. All right, Cryptoballers, have a great night.